Bam! My peoples. My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. We talking boxing, ladies and gentlemen. What is the deal, y'all? First of all, man, let me start this show by saying good morning to everybody. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Salute to my boy Sai in the building. Yo, y'all know how we do this. We're gonna talk boxing. Listen, a lot of people I've been hearing saying this is just gonna be some easy fight. Naoya Inoue is just gonna run through David Picasso. I'm here to tell you that's not the case. Picasso has the skill set to make it an interesting fight. And I'm not gonna tell you that he's gonna beat Naoya Inoue. I'm not gonna do that. But I have to tell you that this guy can fight. He can fight. Don't sleep on him, my peoples. The one thing that he doesn't have is power like that. He's not, he has a record. This is him right here, look. He has a record of 32 wins, 0 losses, and 17 knockouts. So he doesn't have a lot of stoppages. But he can box, my people. He's not one of these guys that they just built up his record fighting guys who can't fight. He's faced some pretty good opponents. If you look at the resume, he's beating some good opponents. Some guys who can fight. And, they're not name fighters. I don't know if he has anyone that we know like that. That's a star. And of course, Naoya Inoue is going to be the toughest test of his career. It's going to be a huge step up in competition. But I'm here to tell you, my people, this fight could be an interesting fight. Young Mexican fighter. How often do you see them getting knocked out? How often? Think about that. And this is really going to be David Picasso's first time on the big stage. A lot of people never even seen him fight. He's being counted out and nobody's seen him fight. I'll give you an example. Remember Bakram Murtasaliev before he fought Tim Tszyu? Everybody predicted he was getting knocked out. Tim Tszyu's gonna knock out this guy who's never been on the big stage. And he gave Timmy the beating of a lifetime. And we didn't know him. So don't count out an undefeated opponent just because you don't know him. Just because you never heard him. Work driving, still turning in, still tuning in, my brother. Side, Tim was never the same. He took the beating of a lifetime. What a nasty beat. And before that, anybody who says, yeah, I know Bakram Murtasaliev, I've been following him, you a liar. Liar. Why? Because Bakram Murtasaliev was fighting in little small venues in his country, and nobody really knew him. Locally, they knew him, but most people didn't know him. And look what he did. So I'm not here to tell you that David Picasso is Bakram Murtasaliev. I'm just telling you this dude is nice. Side J, I picked Bakram. Ooh, to KO Timmy. Tim was never the same. Man, yo, listen, Sai. Tim took a nasty beating, but I tell you what. I've been such a believer in Tim Tszyu that I still think he could become a world champion. I still believe that. Because he went into that fight with Bakramor Tasaliev thinking he was going to blast him out of there. If you watch, he just went toe-to-toe and kept getting pummeled. Till eventually he got stopped. It was the beating of a lifetime. He just, for that fight, Tim Tszyu went in there planning to blast Mortasaliev out of there. And it's almost like he couldn't accept what was happening. Like, he's getting beat up. And he's still swinging for the fences like, you're supposed to be trying to box this guy. Listen, with the type of power Bakram Mortasaliev has, you gotta box him. You're not gonna go toe-to-toe with him and exchange leather and live through that, man, for real. Unless you're a very, very hard puncher yourself and y'all both inflicting. And Tim Tszyu is a hard puncher, but Mortasaliev is a harder puncher. He's harder than Tim Tszyu. Yo, this guy got destructive power. You got that type of power. So you have to understand, a guy like that, everybody wants to see who's going to take on that challenge. Everybody wants to see it. Is it going to be Jerome Bruce Ennis? Is it going to be Fedora? Is it going to be Xander Sayers? Who's going to be the first one that will see unifying titles with Bakram or Tasaliev? That's tough. That's tough, my peoples. But now we have David Picasso, who just like Mortasaliev is stepping on the big stage and people don't know him. Just like Mortasaliev, they counted him out before the fight. So, and again, I'm not making an official prediction or anything like that. You guys know that this prediction is going down on Box Center 2.0. But all I have to say is that this kid can fight. He's undefeated for a reason. And he has, look, I've said this before. Naoya Inoue, because of the power that he has and his accuracy, you're not going to beat him by slugging it out. That's not the way to beat him. Because he's going to catch you in between shots and hurt you. He does it all the time. So the guys that are, trying to show him, swarm, they always get knocked out in between shots. Now it's too sharp, too surgical with it. So to beat him, you got to box him. He's the type of guy that you got to box him. Like, you got to use your forward. You got to move. You got to use your reach on him. David Allen Picasso has a reach advantage on him. And guess what? He's the type of guy that has the style to beat Naoya Inoue. He's not a puncher. He's not going to stand there and trade with him. He will at times, because you know that Naoya Inoue is going to press the action. He's a master at cutting off the ring. So you're going to have to trade with him. But I say, if someone beats him, it's going to be someone who can box really good and knows their way around the ring and is going to move around and box him. That's the type of fighter that's going to beat him. And David Allen Picasso has the tools in the bag to do that. Now, can he be successful at navigating Naoya Inoue's power? That's the tough part. That's the unknown, because we already know Naoya Inoue is pound for pound one of the hardest punchers in the game. But I'm telling you right now, my peoples, this dude's not a cherry pick. And by the way, hit that like button. God damn. 3 likes is diabolical, y'all. We've been at this for over half an hour. Diabolical. But I digress. This is going to be a good fight. It's going to be interesting. They're going to go at it. I expect David Picasso to give Naoya Inoue a competitive fight. How long does it last? I don't know. That's the thing. You never know if or when Naoya Inoue is going to land that bomb. If he lands that straight right hand down the pipe, it could be over right then and there. Now, I'll remind you, the first fight with Nonito Donaire, they went the distance. But obviously, Nonito Donaire is a fighter who carries his own power. And he hurt Naoya in that first fight. Of course, Inoue obliterated him in the rematch. But in that first fight, Nonito Donaire busted Inoue's orbital bone. Busted his joint. Bad. To be honest, when Naoya Inoue fought Nonito Donaire the first time, that's when I knew he was special. That fight. Number one, because the type of opponent that he had in front of him, and number two, the type of fight that it was. The ebb and flow, back and forth. Naoya Inoue and Nonito Donaire landing big shots on each other. And Nonito hurt him. Imagine if you get your orbital bone broken, that was a monster shot. And Inoue with that joint broken, which I think that injury happened in the 8th or 9th, I don't remember. Maybe the 10th, I'm not sure. But whenever that injury happened, he kept it moving. And after that, he hurt Nonito and was inflicting damage on him. So he won a tough fight. And that's when I said, damn, this guy, that's it. This guy really is the monster. Now I get why. It's no matter what. And then we saw what happened in the rematch. He just pulverized Nonito. So we've been seeing the type of power he carries and what he could do if he lands with a big shot early. It could be done and over with. But he has a boxer in front of him. And look, the resume tells you. Let me show you. Let me show you. David Picasso, right? His resume, 32 wins and 17 knockouts. There you go. See? 32 wins, 17 knockouts. Obviously, appreciate it, Si. Obviously, he's not a knockout artist. Obviously, he's not there to knock you out. If he got 17 KOs in 32 fights, that's a 53% knockout percentage. So he's not out there knocking everybody out. He a boxer. And he a skilled boxer, my people. And he can move, use that jab. I'm going to tell you something to keep in mind. David Picasso is going to have a considerable height and reach advantage on Picasso. Remember I told you, when a boxer is skilled enough, he can use those advantages to stay away from that power. And I'm telling you, y'all don't want to believe me? You're going to. You will believe me. This is going to be a good fight. Picasso's not going to be there to just get beat up or lucky to be there or happy to be there. And I want to give you a little background on this, though. I want to give you a little background on this whole situation. They were actually supposed to fight a year ago. And I posted about it on YouTube. And I said the same thing. I felt the same way, like it was going to be a good fight. I had made a prediction. And after I posted that, I saw Juan Manuel Marquez in a Spanish boxing podcast where he said he felt like Picasso wasn't ready, like the monster was going to be too much, like it was a mistake for them to take that fight. Then I heard about rumors that supposedly his team didn't want him to take that fight. His trainers, like nobody was with it. They didn't want him to take the fight. And they ended up pulling out. They ended up convincing him to pull out. So this fight was supposed to actually happen already, and it didn't. And now it's going to happen. Now it's going to happen. We're going to get it. So, you know, to be honest, it looks like his own team didn't want that fight to happen. And maybe they still don't want it to happen. I don't know. I don't know. But that is facts that there were people, and not just one Manuel Marquez. I don't remember who, but there were other Mexican fighters who talked about that fight. And they say they felt he wasn't ready. That it would be too much. And after that, I think he's only had one fight. So I don't know if they felt, okay, after this one fight, you are ready. I don't know. I don't know if the results that would have, of you know, what would have happened last year is going to be different than what is going to happen on Saturday. Both fighters are the same. That's just my opinion, my peoples. But let me know, man, what y'all predicting. You got the puncher, undefeated. The boxer, undefeated. Japan versus Mexico. Who you got, my people? Make your predictions. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. Let's make those receipts. I love the people that wait till after the fight and be like, yeah, I knew that was going to happen. I said it was going to happen. I just don't remember. Naoya Inoue. See what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. Put your receipt up. The monster. Do you have it by stoppage or decision? And think about that, because you're talking about a young, undefeated Mexican fighter. Does he get stopped? Does he go the distance? Win, lose, or draw, but does he get stopped? I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe that's just me, but I don't think so. But this isn't an official prediction, so we shall see. Side, 10th round TKO. Whoa, the stoppage. David Picasso gets slowly broken down and stopped at the 10th, according to Sai. That's a good prediction. That's a good prediction. That's a good prediction. You imagine he knocks out Inoue in that same round? Whoa, multiple knockdowns? Pop, pop. Lacing them up like that to the body. Whoa. The monster's gonna hurt the taller, skinnier guy to the body. A recipe to put him down. And we always talk about Naoya Inoue's power, how hard he hits. But Naoya Inoue is a body snatcher. He's a body snatcher too. He one of them fighters that he's gonna close the gap and inflict damage. He has stopped opponents to the body. So He's going to have, this is why that's a good prediction. He's going to have the taller opponent who's going to want to be mobile, who's going to want to use that jab and move around the ring. And he's going to walk him down. We already know now, Naoya Inoue is a master when it comes to cutting off the ring. You're not going to dance circles around him. You're going to cut the ring off and put you in the ropes. That's just the inevitable. So when he closed the gap, he's definitely going to the body. And that's why, if you go to the body, you're going to slow him down, and eventually, that's it. He's not going to be able to dance no more. You're going to have to stand there and trade. And then in the 10th, listen, man, he could even get Jake Paul, to be honest. He could actually get Jake Paul. Because once, you've been taking those body shots, you get caught slipping, trying to block a body shot, bing! And that's it. You pulling it. Down and out. Just like that. I'm just wondering if David Picasso is going to be able to actually do it for 12 rounds. Can you box the perfect fight for 12 rounds versus this level of opponent? That's tough. That's tough. And you know what? Now, it been hurt too. He's been down. It could happen. But every time he got hurt, he knocked out his opponent brutally. It's almost like, oh shit, you gonna hurt me? Disrespect me like that? Okay. Look at any fight that it got hurt, like got stunned. It's like right after that he wanna knock you out. So you got the audacity to hurt the monster? I'm appalled. I'm gonna have to knock you out now for doing that. I don't know what he be thinking in his head. Like in the Japanese movies, probably. I'm gonna knock you out. Don't you ever hurt me. The monster, my peoples. And I guarantee y'all, he's gonna be the overwhelming favorite. I don't even have to guarantee you this. You guys already know that. I'm pretty sure you guys know this. He's gonna be the overwhelming favorite. So let me analyze this data, man, because if I come up with the conclusion that Picasso's gonna win this fight, that's a shitload of money. That's a shitload of money, because this dude's gonna be the super, super favorite. So there you have it, my peoples. David Picasso, Naoya Inoue, they're gonna be going at it. That's it. It's this Saturday. My peoples, yesterday on Goofiest of the Oofiest, we was talking about the nominees for Goofiest of the Oofiest. And it was Jake Paul. Jake Paul was nominated because the way he behaved before the fight and after the fight and during the fight. So before the fight, Jake Paul was telling us that he's going to beat AJ, that he's better than AJ, that AJ's done. All the shit that he was talking. So the way the fight, the way that he was talking was crazy, like he really was going to do it. And he was going to get the biggest upset in boxing history. Him and the greatest fighters of all time are there together with each other. According to Jay, right? Well, the fight starts, and immediately he looked like a goofball running around. And throwing one jab and running around. And trying to throw two punches and going on the run. Never looked like you was trying to win a round. Never looked like you was trying to compete. You was just trying to be there as long as you could. That's it. That's all it was. And then you start clenching and going on your knees like a goofball, rolling all over the floor. And then when you run out of gas, you started to get beat up now. You laughing and sticking your tongue out. Bro, you don't even know how to get beat up like a real boxer. Who's getting beat up? Woo! Who 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 gets beat up and celebrate? What are we doing? Then you get knocked out brutally, jaw broken in two places, and you sitting over there, huh? My man, I know you hurt. I know your jaw's crushed. What is you doing? What is you celebrating? Look how you is. Oh, well, I'm pretty sure you're better right now. Thank God. I'm glad. And speedy recovery to Jake Paul, by the way. But you acting like a goofball. You don't celebrate getting pummeled. You don't celebrate getting beat up, taking the beating of a lifetime. Yo, huh? Tell me, my peoples, you ever seen a boxer get knocked out brutally and be laughing at the camera and celebrating like that? What are we doing? What are we really doing? So, for that reason, the way Jake Paul handled before the fight, during the fight, and after the fight, he got nominated for Goofiest of the Oofiest. But he had a tough competitor. Tough competitor in Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate is the second nominee to Goofiest of the Oofiest. Now, kickboxing world champion, I never really watched him like that. I watched him in sparrings with guys that's like 5'1", beating them up. But I never really seen him fighting anybody his size like that. And I didn't really see his fights. Somebody told me that he was from Misfits and that was like a B league. But then somebody else told me that he's a championship kickboxer. How the hell did Andrew Tate get pummeled, battered by a dude who can't even fight? Explain that to me. This dude throwing punches like this and absolutely beat your ass. I need answers. Andrew Tate was out there looking like a fraud, B. How you a world kickboxing champion and you getting beat up by a guy who's getting beat up by McDonald's second shift supervisors? Explain that shit to me. Shaku hands, man. I need answers. I need answers. Andrew Tate was out there looking like a golf ball. Out there looking like he don't know what the hell he doing. Cause look, somebody told me, nah, because that's boxing. And he's a kickboxing champion. Yo, kickboxers know how to punch. Kickboxers can punch. Hello? What are we talking about here? You telling me that some guy who can't fight his way out of a wet paper bag is gonna beat up a world championship kickboxer in a boxing match? That's insane. That's insane. Andrew Tate, a goofball. And he had me feeling like a goofball. Because I'm telling people, yo, listen, man, Andrew Tate is going to knock this dude out. Andrew Tate going to crush him. That's what I was telling people. So explain to me how exactly this dude got us convinced that he's going to pulverize homie. What's the guy's name? Des Moines. What's the dude name that beat him up? Shaku hands. Tate got destroyed. Damn, bro. This dude, he was fighting, caught him with an uppercut. My man's hit him with an uppercut like this, look. Boom! Like, that shit came from back here, bro. In the world of boxing, you could never get away with throwing an uppercut like that. You would get knocked out. This dude said like that to Andrew Tate. Boom! And caught him. He kept missing with that shit too. So eventually I'm like, damn, what the hell he trying to do? Eventually he caught him with that joint. Crazy ass uppercut. Like, Andrew Tate, man, look, man, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know about no kickboxing. I haven't seen his kickboxing career. I'm not sure. He could have been really good, I guess. I don't know what type of champion he was. But I know in boxing, he's pretty trash. Pretty trash. That's for sure. You say he tried it and he's not a what if, and he got beat up because he can't fight. Andrew Tate can't fight for shit. That made him the goofiest of the oofiest. Now, between Jake Paul, who was out there celebrating his own beatdown, and Andrew Tate, who got beat up by somebody who can't even fight, who will you guys pick as goofiest of the oofiest? I'm going to tell you guys who we picked yesterday on the show. Some of you may know already. But who do you guys believe is the goofiest of the oofiest between Jake Paul, who was out there rolling around the floor like a goofball, and of course, Andrew Tate, he got beat up like a stepchild. Beat up like the stepchild of a cheating wife. Wally Hamad, what's up, Jay? I'm hungry. I need some of that good boxing knowledge you in the chat got for me. Blessings, brother. Salute, my G. Bam, appreciate it. You know we're going to feed you that healthy dosage of sweet science. I got you, my G. So, yesterday, on yesterday's episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest, the podcast, the nominees were Jake Paul and Andrew Tate. Jake Paul was nominated because everything he said before the fight, the way that he behaved during the fight and after, and Andrew Tate was nominated because he's a world championship kickboxer. Yeah, he got beat up by a guy who can't even fight. So, my peoples, just let me know, give me your opinion, man. Who you guys think for last week is the goofiest of the oofiest? Is it Jake Paul for looking like a goofball in the ring, or hugging AJ's knees and all rolling around the floor? Or is it Andrew Tate for getting battered the way he did with his world championship kickboxer talk? Shakur has beat up by a super nobody. Bro, he got beat up by a guy who gets beat up by super nobodies. Yo. Bro, you got beat up by, if you, like I looked, it's Chase Des Moines. I looked dude up and I seen videos of him getting beat up. That's why I thought Andrew Tate was gonna beat him up. I'm like, nah, Andrew Tate gonna kill this guy. But the thing is, I'm saying Andrew Tate gonna kill this guy because I hear Andrew Tate talking about him being a world championship kickboxer. So I figured you're gonna beat him up. I believe you. Now you got me looking like a goofball to the people that I told Andrew Tate was gonna kill this guy. Andrew Tate done made me a goofball. Shaku Hands. Jake is still in the grinder. He was a complete circus act. The only thing missing was the suit, the nose, and the shoes, man. Listen, Jake Paul was on some complete goofball. And then he showed up with that Hulk Hogan outfit. Yo, what a goofball. How you showed up with that Hulk Hogan shit to get beat up like that, man? Come on, man. Oh, he showed up like a Hulkamaniac. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Yo, bro, who the fuck show up with some shit like that, people? Oh, shit, yo, my bad. Oh, I gotta get it together, man. I should have never thought about that outfit, bro. My bad, my people. Let's keep going with this show. Oh my God, yo, this man, a Hulkamaniac for real. Oh shit. Ooh. Hold on, my people. Let's get it together over here, man. We doing a show. We doing a show over here. Jake Paul showed up with an outfit that is not the usual, not what you might expect, right? All right, wait for me over there. I'll bring it to you right now. Wait for me in the back. It was an outfit that you would not normally expect. That's what I got to say about that. Shaku Hands, a full clown Jake, and then the tongue after getting pummeled. He thought he was Bud. Like, bro, like, you got pummeled. It's not a situation to be celebrated. You don't even know how to lose like a real boxer. Lose be the way you're supposed to lose. Shaku Hands, he was bloody awful at that point. Look, man, when we look at this fight, the way that he was moving from the beginning, Dilbert, you need a 24-hour break. You don't understand what you was watching. Watch us and learn, because you don't understand what you was watching. If you take into consideration the way that Jake Paul was getting beat up, why would you be laughing and taunting? Why would you be doing that? You getting battered out there, bro. And then you get knocked out, jaw broken, my people. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I've never had my jaw broken when I was boxing, ever. But as an amateur boxer, I specifically remember, and this happened in sparring. I was sparring a two-time Golden Glove winner. And he was mad nice. I spar with him all the time. And he always get the best of me. Always get the best of me. I did some things here and there. I had my moments, but he always got the best of me. And this guy caught me with an uppercut. And I ate that uppercut because he caught me as I was going down. He threw a hook, but he was so fast that when I ducked the hook, bang! Caught me with that uppercut. And my jaw hurt for like 2 weeks when I was eating. I was eating something like that. I had to chew hard. I would feel it. And it didn't get broken, but it hurt. It got hurt. I was hurt for a little bit when I was chewing. So I know the pain that you feel. Well, I don't know the pain that you feel because I never had a broken jaw. But I'm telling you, I'm in pain and my shit wasn't even broken. And that shit hurt. Just going like that, it hurt. And mine was not broken. So when I ate that shot, I felt it. And I knew, damn, this nigga hurt me. So imagine Jake Paul eating that bomb, having the jaw broken in 2 places, collapsing, and they go like that to the camera, acting like he's celebrating, like everything is sweet. When the next day he out there looking like this. That's the very next day. Come on, man. Come on, my people. Lures, top of the morning, big bro. Salute, family. Bam. We talking boxing, man. We talking boxing. Now, we see how the whole situation played out with Jake Paul. But my people's Andrew Tate came off like a goofball. Like a goofball, my people. Be honest. You got me feeling like a goofball. Why? Because you convinced all of us you're the world championship kickboxer and you're gonna fight a guy who can't fight himself out of a wet paper bag with a pair of scissors. I'm out here telling people, yo, Andrew Tate gonna kill this guy. Andrew Tate gonna put a number on him. And then you out there getting beat up. Literally getting battered. So that's why Andrew Tate and Jake Paul was voted in as nominees for Goofiest of the Oofiest. Now, the winner, I'm going to tell you, my peoples, right now, the winner for last week's Goofiest of the Oofiest award was Andrew Tate. There you have it. Andrew Tate is the goofiest of the oofiest. Sir Wellington, the fourth. Goofy garbage. Why is Andrew Tate the goofiest of the oofiest? Because this guy right here had us all convinced of what he was gonna do. He was gonna crush Chase Demois. He was gonna beat him up. He was gonna knock him out, all of that. And then you go out there and get battered. You go out there and just get beat up like that. Like you don't even look like you can fight, bro. You was out there looking like a fraud. I was waiting for Andrew Tate to finally do something that he looked like a world championship kickboxer. But god damn. Listen. If I never known, if nobody ever told me that Andrew Tate was supposedly a world championship kickboxer, and I just saw that video, I would have thought he's some regular nigga off the street, bro. Some regular dude that he grabbed from the street. Yo, hey, get in the ring and go throw punches. That's what he looked like. This dude was pushing bags in Walmart, and they grabbed him and took the Walmart work outfit off and put on a fight gear and say, yo, hey. That's what he looked like. Where's the skills that you were supposed to display? The league. Tate even confused Jay Stradamus. Mine. Well, I'm going to be honest. I seen some highlights of Tate getting knocked out. Tate getting beat up and looking like he don't even know how to throw punches. So, based off of what I perceived was Tate's skills, and I'm going to say this, Andrew Tate, I said it wrong, I said it backwards. Andrew Tate, I realized something that somebody told me. I seen a bunch of sparring videos where fighting guys that's like 5'1", beating them up. But now he's fighting this dude, and it turns out he can't fight. Can't fight for shit. That's just the reality. Andrew Tate can't fight. He's pretty trash. Trash. My peoples, I'm gonna take a 1-minute commercial break. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Salute to Sir Wellington the Fourth. Salute to the leaks. And everybody else tuning in, my peoples. I'll be back. We talking boxing. We got Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson coming up January 31st. We got to talk about that fight, my peoples. That's a good one. And remember what I said. That prediction is only going down on Box Center 2.0. Yeah. I'll be right back, my people. Stay tuned in. Go ahead. No, terminado, Frank. Go to the bed, right? I need you to go to the bed. Sure. Porque tú le estás hablando a la pantalla. I'm gonna go to work. My peoples, we back in the building. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. The league says, I'm trying to do Misfits boxing. Yo, man, listen, if Andrew Tate became a world champion over there, man, I think anybody just show up and become a champion. But supposedly, where else was he a champion, man? Because somebody told me, nah, Andrew Tate. Let me see where he was a champion. Andrew. Let me look at his credentials, my people. What are Andrew Tate real credentials? Because he look like shit out there. Tate champion status. Let me see. Andrew Tate is a 4-time kickboxing world champion. Have won 3 titles with the International Sports Kickboxing Association and 1 with the Dutch Promotion and Fusion. You see, he won world championship, but who won? Like, how the hell do you win all those championships and then you go out looking like somebody off the streets getting beat up? I don't understand it, my peoples. I don't understand it. Andrew Tate was out there looking like a bum. Simple as that, my people, like a bum. That's the only way I could describe it. I had people putting it in the chat like, yo, this dude's a fraud. He a fraud. Like, people kept calling him a fraud because of the way that he was getting beat up. Look, at 40 years old, you're not old like that to where you don't have no skills. You're not that old. So I don't know, my people. I don't know. Not looking good. Now I'm gonna tell you guys something very interesting that you're not expecting to hear. And it's about Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez. The Blue Baron, Tate no fraud. No, he not a fraud. But damn, yo, he look bad out there, man. He look really bad. Really bad. Wally Ahmad, Jay, I really think Jake Paul is the goofiest of the oofiest. As a man, you can't willingly go down to your knees for no man. That it's tough to argue against that. You know, it's really tough to do that. But I think the reason Andrew Tate won goofiest of the oofiest is because we knew Jake Paul was outclassed. We expected him to get knocked out. Listen, he made a goofball out of himself. But Tate had us believing as a world championship kickboxer, he was going to inflict all this damage. And then he goes out there looking like a Wendy's third shift janitor. Damn, that's pretty goofy too, man. He looked trash out there. He looked pretty trash. I would never have expected that. And he also the goofiest of the oofiest for making me feel like a goofball. Because I was telling people, Andrew Tate gonna destroy him brutally. And then he does that shit. Marie, I am from the Netherlands. That infusion promotion is lower level fighter. The highest level of kickboxing is glory. I never saw that goofball fight. Yo, I never seen him fight either, but he a world champion, according to them. The Blue Baron just wasn't his fight. The least for real, though. Looks like he couldn't even throw a punch. Bro, when you look up kickboxers can punch. You can't tell me a world championship caliber kickboxer is going to get beat up in a boxing match by a guy who can't even fight. That just doesn't even make sense. But let me segue into the next one for you, my peoples. And this is very interesting, and I want you to think about this. With Terrence Crawford retiring from boxing, you're going to see now a whole group gunning for that spot. Who's going to be the next face of boxing? Now, let me tell you the parameters for you to be in the running for the next face of boxing. And those are the parameters according to me. Number one, you have to have accomplishments. All the fighters who've been the face of boxing throughout the sport's history are very accomplished. If you look at Floyd Mayweather, if you look at Sugar Ray Leonard, if you look at Oscar De La Hoya, if you look at Mike Tyson, if you look at everybody who's been the face of the sport, is accomplished, right? And number two, it has to be fighters that people think have a future and they're going to keep winning. They're going to be that. They are that. So I'm going to tell you, in my opinion, who are the group of fighters who will see gunning to become the next face of boxing. David Benavidez, Devin Haney, Tank Davis, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, Jerome Bruce Ennis, and Naoya Inoue. No. Forget about Naoya Inoue. Bam Rodriguez. Those 7 right there, I would say, are the ones going to be gunning for that face of boxing spot. I'm going to explain myself. Those are the young, talented fighters that are already highly accomplished and achieved a certain level of popularity. All of them already have their own following, their own fan base. And what happens is, when they start getting these bigger wins at the stage in their career that they're at, they're all going to be in that pound for pound list. They're all going to be moving up in that pound for pound list. Because that's the one thing. The face of boxing has always been somebody that's at the top. That's why in recent history, people try to separate popularity from accomplishments. But the most accomplished fighters have always been the guy. Floyd Mayweather was the guy. Oscar De La Hoya was the guy. Muhammad Ali, the guy. Sugar Ray Leonard. So you got to have those accomplishments, right? Look at all the people that I mentioned. Shakur Stevenson, out of that group, is going to be the first one to get a big win. Or Teofimo Lopez is going to be the first one to get a big win. They're going to face each other on January 31st, right? So whoever wins that fight, that's going to be bigger than Devin Haney's win over Brian Norman Jr. That's going to be bigger than Naoya Inoue's win over David Picasso. That's going to be bigger. So a lot of these fighters are fighting real good opponents. I told you, Picasso is not a cherry pick like people think. But those big fights with the guy at the top, it's harder to get those fights and to make them happen. And that's what's going down with Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson, that type of fight. So we could very well be seeing one of these 2 fighters making the first push to become the face of boxing. We might see that playing out. Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez is going to dictate the landscape. Watch. And then everybody else is going to follow. But you're going to see the same way that we have Naoya Inoue, Usyk, and Terence Crawford, let's say for now, the way that those 3 fighters have been gunning it out for those top 3 spots, and eventually Crawford settled into the first one, that's what we're going to see with the young fighters from now. Top 3, it could be Shakur Stevenson, Jerome Bruce Ennis, and let's say Devin Haney. And if they're the top 3, they're going to keep shifting up and down, back and forth, until somebody get like a monster win that'll settle them into the first spot, like Terence Crawford with the beatdown of Canelo Alvarez. Marie, kickboxing can punch. I grew up kickboxing. I have a lot of friends who are kickboxers. They can all box and do a boxing match looking like real boxers. Not like Tate. He looked as if it was his first time. You see, that's what I'm talking about. I trained in a gym where there was kickboxers. I saw kickboxers training regularly. And for a summer, I actually practiced kickboxing and learned to throw some kicks. But kickboxers can punch. How Andrew Tate was out there looking like a goofball. Murdered. Andrew Tate won I don't care what nobody say. I mean, damn, even Andrew Tate say he didn't want. He don't believe you. Andrew Tate don't believe you. But I digress, my people. One topic of conversation that has been heavy with Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez on the way is can beat Teo. Can Bosa beat Teofimo Lopez? Come on, man. For one loss, there's people that will judge Teofimo's entire career just to hate on Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Hands Tate is the mandatory goofball of the week. That's it. He got that title. I'm gonna have to get the goofball belt. Watch, I'm gonna have a goofball belt made, so Andrew Tate and everybody else can be awarded the goofball belt. Martyr, he might as well have been Mayweather. How the boys chased punches, wasn't landing. Okay, I don't know if you're a dummy or you just need attention, but take a 24-hour break. Take a 24-hour break, and tomorrow don't be a dummy. The least top goofball. This dummy right here was acting like a top goofball. Marie, Martyr, guys like you are way best, real fan. Y'all almost worship him, delusional. Now, that's not even a fan. That's just somebody that need attention. That's somebody that says, I'm going to contradict all of the facts and get people talking to me. That's one of those dummies. Come back tomorrow and be more realistic. Dummy. But you guys seen Cambosa dropping, Teofimo Lopez being the main topic of conversation leading up to this fight with Teo versus Shakur. Y'all gonna see. Shakur hands 24, 24, 24. Bang, 24, 24, 24. Hold that down, man. You don't come over here with that dummy stuff. We ain't got time for you. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez. My people, that's gonna be a good fight. That's gonna be a good fight, and we're getting closer and closer to it. And by the way, we got some other good fights coming up, but this looking like it's going down too. Marie, do you predict Shakur versus Teo? I haven't made that prediction yet. I will be making it on Box Center 2.0. You see this? We're gonna get this fight, my peoples. Big fight, big money fight. And of course it's not, what it was when they was both undefeated. We was calling for that fight and it couldn't get made for whatever reason. But this is still an interesting fight, and it's still a real good fight. And even right now, it's a tough prediction to make. Who you got in this fight? Who do you see winning the showdown between Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua? Marie, I think Tyson is going to win this fight. AJ didn't look himself last two fights. Yeah, but Tyson Fury's been inactive, man. Tyson Fury been inactive. And AJ, he was, remember, it's over a year since he had been in the ring. It's just that people only consider ring rust when it's a fighter they like or when it's a narrative that fits what they want. But this guy hadn't been in the ring in I think 14 months before fighting Jake Paul, who also was I find it hilarious when people say Jake Paul lasted a whole 6 rounds. No, in reality, he lasted 2. The moment he started, stopped running and started fighting, he got beat up and stopped. He lasted the 5th and the 6th. The first 4, he was not engaging, he was not fighting, he was not doing anything related to fighting. Marie, yeah, but Tyson will fight first someone else before fighting AJ. That's what they told. Oh, you see, that will make sense. For Tyson Fury to come back, do a quick tune-up. AJ already got his tune-up. And then they could fight. But I guess if Tyson Fury is going to fight somebody first, we'll probably see AJ fight again before they fight each other. COE Films. Shakur is the next Terence Crawford without the knockout power. Buzz says Shakur is the best at 135, 140. I'll take Bud opinion over people that hasn't been in there with him. I agree 100%. And I've said this before, man. Shakur could very well end up as the next face of boxing. Because there's not going to be a clear cut amongst the young fighters coming up. They're gonna be gunning for that spot until somebody get a monster win. And then that's it. It gets settled right there. Shakur Hands, Fury a clown, and super troll. Oh, nah, his trolling skills is at a god level. Like, this guy, when he want to troll, he gonna have AJ mad as hell during the pressures. Watch. You're gonna see AJ mad. Because Tyson Fury, man, listen. If Fury wasn't a boxer, he's the type of guy that he could have been a comedian. And he would have been funny as hell. He could have been a comedian. My peoples, but this is a fight that I think we're all looking forward to. I hope they can make it happen. And I'm not even ready to make a prediction, to be honest. I'm not ready to make a prediction. But this is it right here, man. This is it right here. I've been waiting for this fight. I've been wanting this fight. I've been calling for this fight. Shakur Stevenson haters didn't want this fight to happen. Here's the funny thing about haters. I'm going to tell you guys something funny about haters. What I find to be interesting. You guys know that in boxing, what makes sense is to have the best fight the best. Like, if you're a boxing fan, right? Or if you claim to be a boxing fan, what makes the most sense and what's going to give us the best fights is if the best fight the best. I think we can all agree on that. So, why is it that every time I did a poll to see if people wanted to see Teofimo Lopez fight Shakur Stevenson or someone else, they always pick somebody else? I did a poll, should Shakur fight Teofimo Lopez? Should Teofimo Lopez fight Shakur or Subriel Matias? Almost everybody, he should fight Subriel Matias because Subriel Matias it has a title, so it's going to be a unification. That's a bigger fight. Cool. They picked Subriel. Then I did another poll. Should Teofimo Lopez fight Shakur Stevenson, or should he fight this person? A rematch with George Kambosos. Nah, rematch with Kambosos would be better because he lost, so, he get his get back. Okay, cool. So basically, to get to the point, every time I did a poll to ask if people wanted to see Teofimo Lopez fight Shakur or somebody else, they always pick somebody else. Why do you want Teofimo Lopez to fight Shakur? Why you want him to fight other people? So you spend your days going into chats and going into channels and different social media pages to say the same thing over and over. Shakur didn't beat nobody. Shakur didn't beat nobody. And when you're asked, do you want to see Shakur and Teofimo? You say, no, I want Teofimo to fight somebody else. When I see the pattern emerge, it starts to look like you don't want Shakur Stevenson to get the big fights. That's some real hater stuff, my people. Real hater stuff. But I'm going to tell you, this fight right here is big fight. And we're going to find out who's the best in the 140 division on January 31st. Because Teofimo Lopez, without a doubt, is the guy. Teofimo is the guy at 140 right now. So let's see. Let's see how this whole thing is gonna play out on January 31st. I know I don't even have to tell you guys that I'm gonna be calling that fight. I don't even have to tell you. You know who Shakur Stevenson been watching? Whose fights he's been watching? Marvelous Marvin Hagler. He posted about he didn't realize nobody told him this dude was that good. And I'm glad he went back to watch Hagler fights. Because Hagler's a guy that will inflict damage upon you from the inside or the outside, however you want to do it. And especially the way that Shakur fought William Zepeda, I know that he's not going to fight Teofimo Lopez exactly the same way, but I know that he's going to trade leather with him. I know that they're going to have those moments. And he's going to look to win those exchanges. So watching Marvelous Marvin Hagler, not bad. Not bad at all. He got plans for what he's trying to do in it. And of course, I love this fight because both guys are in their prime. Both guys are young. Both guys are confident in themselves. This is the type of fight that will be interesting. It will be interesting. I already see. Here's the funny thing about the haters. They float their narrative out there in subtle ways. I already see people saying, well, because if Shakur's going to run, they started off like that. If Shakur's going to run, it could be a boring fight. You see how they hold up? Think about it. Look at the way Shakur fought Zepeda. But when it's time to talk about this fight, they'll mention the De Los Santos fight. Wah, 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 wah. Shakur hands. All these maniacs saying nobody asked for Tio and Core. No, and there was people telling me that they wasn't interested in that fight. When I did the polls, people literally told me, nah, I'm not interested in that fight because Shakur's just going to run and it's going to be a boring fight. Then they watch Shakur Stevenson put the beats on Zepeda inside of a phone booth and still bring up the De Los Santos fight. They're going to bring up the De Los Santos fight forever. Just like they bring up Gamboa every time Terence Crawford was going to fight, they're going to do the same thing with De Los Santos. Marie, those guys are tankomaniacs. All people hating on Shakur are tank fanboys. I wouldn't say all, but the majority, yes. The majority, yes. The majority of people that be hating on Shakur is from the tankomaniacs and the Al Haymanites. It's that team over there hating on Shakur. Shakur hands, Zepeda, the one that punched most and was reduced when fighting Shakur. No, because Zepeda was supposedly going to knock him out. Shakur got the brittle hands. Shakur's not going to be able to keep him off of him. That's the funniest shit to me when they say that. He's not going to be able to keep him off of him. Shakur's not going to be able to keep Zepeda off of him. Bud is not going to be able to keep Canelo off of him. Goofballs. Now Shakur's not going to be able to keep Tio off of him. Go ahead, tell me that. Ay, no tigres tan de pinga. Pussy trap. Shakur ain't a killer, man. He's got soft eyes. I mean, he's an undefeated world champion in multi-division and a unified champion. I don't know what you see in his eyes. I don't know what you're talking about. Shakur hands, PBC gobblers. Damn, bro. The gobblers. They gotta stop the gobbling. Honestly, if you're with the fighters fighting each other, enough with the gobbling, bro. That's it. Hobgoblin ass motherfuckers. I don't know. I never heard of that expression, soft eyes, man. I don't know what you into. I never heard a man use that expression, soft eyes. I think that's like in a women's makeup commercial that somebody would use that. But you got it, man. I don't know. I don't know. At least pause it, my G aroma sound. Damn, yo, at least no Diddy that joint. Cause golly. And then you on a show named Boxing for Breakfast. You're on a boxing show full of men and you talking about soft eyes. I don't know what you're looking for. Shaku hands. It's sad they think because we're black, we need to agree with everything PBC. Yo, there's a portion of fans that say that. Yo, you know how many people have told me either I'm a sellout, I'm a sellout, or somebody's talking to me and they're a sellout for agreeing with me? Like, that's crazy. But that's part of the narrative. That's part of the narrative. You agree with us or you're a sellout. Poster trap. I ain't saying that he wants some belts, but I don't see him getting really hurt and dodging and dogging out. I mean, he don't have that stare you see in fighters. I mean, I believe in the face-off. That's what I see. When he's in the face-off, grilling them, you don't have to have that stare 24/7 in your face. But when he grilling them right there, he has it. For sure. For sure. But we're going to find out on January 31st. We should have found out when he fought Zepeda, by the way. A lot of people were saying Zepeda was going to upset him. A lot of people were saying Zepeda was going to hurt him. And even you guys who've been in the channel long enough know that there was people in the chat saying Zepeda was going to stop him. If I'm not mistaken, the Hydro Grind says Zepeda was going to stop him in the 10th. So, and look what he did to Zepeda. Look what he did to him. Had him looking like a Taco Bell second shift burrito roller. Did him in. So that should have been enough for people to say, yeah, Shakur is him. He's him. But they can't accept it. They're going to diminish that win. Now we need more. We need something else. That's what happens when you're a great fighter. They'll always diminish your win and ask you for something else. You don't see where Crawford beating Canelo. No. Go fight Benavidez. And go to heavyweight. Go fight Usyk. Aroma sound. It doesn't matter how he looked. Sugar Ray Leonard didn't even look like a boxer. But he was a killer. That's a fact. How about Oscar De La Hoya? Oscar De La Hoya didn't even look nothing like a boxer. Out there beating people up. I don't know, those who are old enough, you remember, yo, the arenas was filling up with women to go see Oscar. He brought women that wasn't even boxing fans to the fights. This guy was like Menudo. He was like a rock star. So what Ryan Garcia is now, Oscar De La Hoya was. With the girls and with the ladies and all of that. The only difference is that back then there was no social media. Shaq Williams, yup, everywhere. PBC said that. Poster track. Look at someone of a real killers in the ring. They got 1,000-yard stare. Tyson. I know Mike is overrated, but he had that stare. Yeah, but the stare doesn't really mean anything, bro. There's guys out there that don't even look their opponent in the eyes and proceed to beat the shit out of them. Shaco hands. Besides us true fans, we knew Core is the truth, of course. Look, the first time that I saw a video of Shakur was him crying in the Olympics. When I saw him crying in the Olympics, then I YouTube the fight, the highlights, because the whole fight I couldn't find it. And I watched the fight. He got beat in a competitive fight. It was competitive, the gold medal fight, but he got beat. And he cried the same way Floyd Mayweather cried. Only thing, Floyd got robbed. But the way that Shakur was crying, I felt like, damn, I think this kid might be special. The way he reacted. He wasn't happy to get the silver. He was crushed not to get the gold. When I saw that, I was like, oh shit, this guy might be something else. And as soon as he turned pro, I started watching him. And I believed in him right away. When I saw his performances, as he was stepping up in competition, I was like, yeah, this kid is special. He's going to do big things. So I always believed in Shakur from early on. The same thing with Crawford. From early on, I saw him, I was like, yeah, this guy's going to do big things. Poster track. Yeah, but Sugar Ray Leonard was a different man. And on fight night, turned into a nightmare. Mr. Tommy Gunn, prime Sugar Ray Leonard beats Crawford and Floyd, in my opinion. I don't know if he beats Crawford, to be honest. And I don't even know if he beats Floyd. I think if you take prime Sugar Ray Leonard, prime Floyd, prime Crawford, they're all so good that you don't know. But if you tell me to pick, I got Crawford emerging out of that. Me personally. Poster track, I agree. Sugar Ray Leonard would destroy Floyd. You see, I think that's an exaggeration. Because you say destroy, bro, Floyd never got destroyed by anybody. Why would he get destroyed by Sugar Ray Leonard? Now, Sugar Ray Leonard, he got destroyed. Well, I wouldn't say destroyed, but he got beat pretty good. So, to say that he'll get destroyed, I think that's pushing it. I think if you put Sugar Ray Leonard, Floyd Mayweather, and Terence Crawford, any matchup that you put together is going to be a very competitive fight. It's going to be a very good one. Going to be a very, very good fight. With all of them. No matter how you match them up, you're talking about 3 all-time great fighters. And it's 3 all-time great fighters, but the hardest puncher in that group is Terence Crawford. Aroma Sound. I think that group of 3 could have all beat each other any given day. And that's a fair assessment. It's true. That's a fair assessment. That's how good all 3 of them are. The Hydro Grind. Good morning, my peoples. Bam. Salute, my brother. Fam. January 31st, Teofimo Lopez, Shakur Stevenson, the Hydro Grind. Who do you got? As soon as you say who you got, everybody's going to know the other guy's going to win. Because you've been off like crazy on them predictions, bro. Tell the people who you think is going to win. So they can just pick the other guy. This is going to be a good fight, my peoples. I'm super excited about it. I think that I know we're going to get the best version of Shakur Stevenson versus the best version of Teofimo Lopez. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be that type of fight. The Hydro Grind, you already know who I got. Do you tell me you got Shakur? I think you got Shakur. Poster track, honestly, I don't remember. They really don't bring the fight today either. Back in those days, they boxed. At some point, stopped jabbing and fighting. I'm going to say that doesn't really apply to everyone. Give me a second, my people. Give me a second. So if you look around, there's fighters that still fight like that are using that jab, that are being effective, that are using that footwork, that are using everything. There's fighters that are doing that, bro. Look at Sebastian Fundora, for example. Got just battered, pummeled when he lost. Came back, and look at him now. Be having that long-ass jab out there. Bam, bam, bam. And it's making it impossible for you to close the gap without eating some nasty leather to the mouthpiece. The Hydro Grind. I know Shakur is superior and will probably win, but I would like to see Tio get the victory. Damn, why would you like to see Tio get the victory? Because Shakur made your prediction wrong about Zapata? Be honest. Be honest, the Hydro Grind. Damn, man. How you gonna oust yourself like a Shakur hater like that? Like, yeah, you know, I know Shakur's gonna win, but I would like him to lose, though. Bro, be honest. I like the way you frame it. You'd like Tio to win, but in reality, it's more that you'd like Shakur to lose. Be honest, my G. Be for real. Damn, the Hydro Grind. You let it be known straight up. Superman in the building. Salute. What's the deal, family? Listen, fellas. It's a little bit over a month to go before we get this fight. The Hydro Grind, because Tio is Latino, bro. Okay. So, yeah, but Tio's Latino, but the Hydro Grind. Me and you Hispanics. You see how you say, I stay with my peoples? You and me, we dark skinned. We dark skinned, remember that. And Teofimo Lopez, him and his pops, you know what they be calling dark skinned people, right? That include me and you. Don't think that the Latino brotherhood excludes you from that. The Hydro Grind, I stay with my peoples. Your peoples is right here in the Dominican Republic. There's a lot of Hispanic peoples out there that don't see you as they people. So he might be your peoples, but you might not be his peoples. At Solo, Shakur, Shakur needs to show his best. Hold on. Can't even read that. As Solo, Shakur needs to show his best. Castillo needs to shut the F up. And he needs his ass kicked for real. Real good. Entertainment. What's up, my peoples? Who you think wins? Felix Alvarado and Yabuki. Honestly, it's hard for me to make a prediction in that fight because I really haven't seen Yabuki like that. Honestly, I haven't seen him like that, so I will be making a prediction based off of one guy. Like right now, I say, well, Felix Alvarado's going to get him, but I never really see Yabuki, so it's hard for me to say. Aroma Sound. Shakur is Puerto Rican. Half Puerto Rican, half black. There you have it, the Hydro Grind. Are you taking away Shakur's Puerto Rican half? Is that what we doing over here, the Hydro Grind? Damn, my bro just disappeared, Teofimo is Hispanic, Shakur's not. Stripped him out of his Puerto Rican-ness. Damn, the Hydro Grind. Why I gotta be like that? Zay, what's the deal, family? Bam! 2 left hooks in the building. What's the deal, family? Make your predictions, man. Who y'all got? Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. Shaku hands, ¿por qué? That's all. Who y'all got? The Hydro Grind, Hydra. That ain't no reason. That's a whack reason. Took away. Ooh, there we go. 2 left hooks says Shakur's gonna get him. See? A lot of people got Shakur. Do you see it going the distance, 2 left hooks? Or Shakur stunning Teofimo with something nasty and getting the stoppage? Shaku hands. Don't ever take away Shakur Stevenson's Puerto Rican-ness. 2 left hooks. Yes, going the distance. Shakur's outboxing him. Outboxing Teofimo Lopez. Does he make it look easy? Is it a real competitive fight where they go back and forth? Shakur got to make adjustments to pull off the win? Or does he pull a Terrence Crawford and by round number 8, 9, figure them out and just start teeing off and outclassing them. The Hydro Grind, it's a tight fight. Poster track. I don't like Lopez as a person, but for some reason I see Tio winning. Oh, bullshit aside. I think Teofimo Lopez has what it takes to make it an interesting fight, a competitive fight. And Shakur Stevenson, we know what he brings to the table. So, and this isn't going to be the type of fight where Shakur's going to be running, Tio's going to be chasing him. I expect this to be a tough fight. Whether a fighter dominates or not, we're going to see some exchanges. We're going to see some fisticuffs. Zay, I got Shakur with the ring skill and distance. T.O. with a lucky knockout. Whoa. With a lucky knockout in round. Any round. Aroma Sound is going to be competitive. T.O. come to fight when he's facing a big challenge. The Hydro Grind. I think we'll get 12-round fight where both are scared to commit and make a mistake. 2 left hooks. Tough fight with a lot of exchanges. Yeah, man, I see a lot of exchanges. And you know why I see that? Because Teofimo is going to look to be aggressive. Shakur Stevenson, number 1, is going to counterpunch. Number 2 is going to retaliate. And number 3, he's going to sit in the pocket more than people expect. I see him doing kind of like what Terrence Crawford did with Canelo. He knows when to sit in the pocket, and he also knows when to get out. But of course, Teofimo is going to apply constant pressure. He's going to land his own shots. And that's what makes this an interesting fight. It could actually go into the type of showdown where whoever wins the championship rounds goes out of there with the victory. And then if it turns into that, it'll be a classic showdown. Poster track. How many knockouts Shakur got out of how many fights? I'm not sure. I don't know that number by heart. But it could happen. It could happen at any time, anywhere, with anyone. It can happen. Zay, Shakur said he's going to come forward because they say he runs and he's boring. And that may be his downfall. Well, did you see Shakur versus Tate? Those words that you said was literally said by dozens of people leading up to the Zepeda fights. Dozens of people said Zepeda was going to knock him out because Shakur saying that he's going to stand in front of him and he got the brittle hands and he's not going to be able to keep him off of him. And look what he did to Zepeda. Zepeda got completely outboxed and made to look like a Burger King second shift supervisor. All the people that told me that Zepeda was going to knock him out disappeared, by the way. They were supposed to come to the next show of Boxing for Breakfast and talk about it, but they didn't show up. 2 left hooks. We know Shakur not a knockout artist. He just beat you pillar to post. Embarrass you, make it look easy, all type of shit. Poster trap. Do you think Haney could have beat Haney? Or Haney could have beat Shakur? Nah, he ran from the division because he knew what was going to happen. Devin Haney did not want to fight Shakur. The offer was not real. The 25% offer, it was so that you guys could say, he sent an offer and Shakur should have took it. But it was not a real offer. He didn't want to fight Shakur for a reason. The Hydro Grind, both of them will be waiting to counterpunch. It'll be a long night. They know they're elite fighters. Won't want to make mistakes and pay for them. That's how you envision it because of your hate for Shakur. You want Shakur to win in a boring fight. But it's not going to play out anything like that. It's going to be the opposite. Both of them want to be the face of boxing. Both of them want to show out. Both of them want to win in spectacular fashion, and it's going to be an exciting fight to watch. Now, you've gone against what I told you before, and you have experience in this. So, do with that what you will, the Hydra Brian. Mr. Tommy Gunn, Burger King second shift supervisor. That's what Zepeda was looking like. It's like he took off the uniform, put on some boxing gear, step in there with Shakur. Got beat up. Zay. Shakur has 11 knockouts. I don't know why you keep repeating that. How is that? Shakur's also undefeated and is a multi-division champion and a unified champion. Like, is that really what you hold on to? Like, the number of knockouts? I don't know what you're doing with that number or why you keep repeating it or what point you're trying to make, but go ahead and make it, buddy. How did that 11 knockouts help Zepeda? Ask him. Did you see Zepeda face piece? Man, look, that's the thing, that's the luxury that you get from just talking about boxing when you never boxed and you don't know what that's like. But I'm telling you, Zepeda would tell you that he felt that. He felt those punches to the face piece. And his face came out of there looking like a tomato. Zay. Shakur has 11 knockouts. I know he got 11 knockouts, but it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter, my people. Not going to matter. Poster track. No one likes it going to the judges. Poster track. Listen to what he said. No one. You have to learn how to speak for yourself. If you don't like it going to the judges, fine. But you know that you're making a bullshit argument and a weak argument when you try to speak for other people. Why are you trying to speak for other people? Why are you trying to say no one? I don't have a problem with it, and a lot of people here don't have a problem with a great boxing match. So when you say no one likes it going to the judges, why don't you say I don't like it going to the judges? Go ahead, put it like that. Because the second way you just say I don't. Say I don't like it going to the judges. Go ahead, because it's you. Talk for yourself. Don't you sound weak when you gotta involve other people's in your opinion. Zay, someone in the chat asked you how many knockouts. Okay, somebody asked and you already said it. You got it, Magic. Cool. Thank you for answering the question. VMK, what's your opinion? So many YouTubers and ex-MMA fighters taking over boxing. I mean, there's money to be made. They're not going to become world championship caliber fighters. But if there's a check to be made, I think we would all be getting in the ring. Or the majority of us will be getting in the ring for a check. So that's just the reality. Social media has opened up the landscape. All these new applications have opened up the landscape of who could step in the ring and box and make money. No longer do you have to be a professional boxer to be in a professional boxing match. Anybody could become a professional boxer now. You just need to get yourself an opponent and that's it. Anybody can get a boxing license and box. Before, if you wasn't a boxer, you didn't box. That changed already. That's it. Anybody can box. So there's gonna be people who can make money off of it. Why not do it? You know, I've gotten to a point where I adapted. I'm not gonna watch most of that stuff. That's a circus show to me. But I adapted enough to accept it, to know that they have an audience. They have people that are interested. You have to have an audience to make money. And they have that. Poster track. But we've seen robberies. Damn, you're like conspiracies, bro. We have seen robberies, though. That's a fact. Zay, I like all around boxing. I'm not for knockouts. The best fights can work the ring in any way, like Mayweather and Ali. So to be honest, I like everything because everything is what make up boxing. I like to watch the slick boxer. I like the boxer puncher. I like the brawler. I like all of these, the European style. I like all of these styles because when they come together, they give us all these interesting fights. So there's not one, in boxing, there's not one specific style that's the best above all. That's not real. Clay Moraine, salute my brother. Appreciate you dropping in, man. You already know what it is. You know we talking boxing. You know how we doing it. Um, Look, Shakur Stevenson, man, and Teofimo Lopez, they're gonna go at it, and it's a great fight because styles. You have the boxer. It's a classic matchup, but there is no thing as a best style. And why I say that? Because if you look at the different champions, they don't all have the same style. We seen boxers make it look easy versus hard punchers. But we've also seen hard punchers obliterate slick boxers. So it just depends. But all of these different styles of boxing is what make the sport interesting. That's what make the sweet science fun to watch in the first place. And what makes it unpredictable. Roach just been robbed twice. Back-to-back fights. 2 draws. Clay Moraine. Great fight. Everybody put your thinking cap on because it's going to be high-level chess. It's going to be a good fight. And this, I actually compared the fight to Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. And it's funny because I compared it to those two, and recently Shakur posted that he's been watching Marvin Hagler. I wonder if he watched me say that shit, because I posted that shit, and I know he saw that story. I wonder if he said, damn, Jay said Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. Let me go check out Marvin Hagler. What Jay Smith talking about? You imagine that? West Baltimore. That makes the sport watered down. What makes the sport watered down? Post a track. I think the jab has been used more often in the last 20 years. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, Post a track. Like, you haven't said a word about the actual fight we're talking about. Like, what are you talking about, bro? Claymore Rain. What do you think about the Inoue versus Picasso? Another high-level chess match, but maybe with the clock on. What do you think? Ooh, look, Claymore Rain. I'm going to tell you like this, and I've been telling people. Picasso's not a cherry pick. He's not a cherry pick like people think. He's never been on that big stage. So that, that goes against him. He doesn't have that experience. He's never fought against that level opponent. But he's not a bum. He's not a guy who's out there to get beat up. Young Mexican fighter. And he has the style to beat Inoue. I'm not making that prediction. I'm not saying he's going to beat him. Just hear me out. We know Naoya Inoue is a power puncher. Destructive power. Unquestionable. I don't think, if he ever loses, I don't think he's going to lose to a guy that's just going to sit in the pocket with him and trade leather. I don't think that's going to happen. If the monster loses, it's going to be versus a fighter who has that skill set to move around, to use the ring, and specifically someone who has a height and reach advantage on him. that can stay away. And Picasso is a much taller fighter, has a reach advantage, and has very good footwork. The only thing is that we know the monster has the type of power that he has, and he's very good at, his footwork. People don't talk about it that much because we focus mostly on his power. But Naoya Inoue's footwork is elite at the highest level. That's why he always does a great job of cutting off the ring and pummeling his opponents. You're not going to dance circles. Forget about it. You're not going to dance circles around the monster. It's just not happening. West Baltimore. Are they even the same weight class? Yes. They're in the same weight class. And let me just point out that Naoya Inoue, I said this earlier too. Naoya Inoue and the monster, they were supposed to fight. They were supposed to fight last year. And they didn't fight because Picasso's team didn't want that fight to happen. Picasso's team pulled them out of that fight. Lexus Augustus, Inoue will likely lose this one. So I'm going to tell you, he's going to be the favorite. He's going to be the favorite to win. But I told people, don't count this guy out simply because you don't know him. Remember, when we didn't know Bakra Mortasaliev, we thought Tim Tszyu was going to knock him out. A lot of people was like, yeah, Tim Tszyu was going to knock. This guy's a nobody. And look what happened. Timmy took the beating of a lifetime. Now, David Picasso's not a knockout puncher, but he can fight. So all I'm saying, if you don't know him, you never watch him, don't count him out. Claymore Rain, Picasso does like to establish the distance, but I've seen him turn up and chase the pressure. Got to be careful with Inoue. He doesn't mind pressing, but will counterpunch as well. 100% accurate. And that's the thing. And look, earlier, it's funny that you say that, Claymore Rain, because earlier on the show, I specifically pointed out, you have to maintain the distance with Naoya Inoue, because if you try to press him, he can counterpunch you, and it's all over right then and there. Right then and there is over. So you don't want to turn him into a counterpuncher. You want to use that footwork, and you want to make him come to you so you could use your jab to keep that distance and tee off on him as he's trying to close the gap. One thing is, I've seen Picasso get pushed into a firefight. So he uses the footwork well, but I've seen him get pressed and sit in the pocket and eat some punches that he shouldn't have. So, he can't make those type of mistakes versus a guy that can take you out with one shot. Takes one punch from the monster, and it's all over. And I can tell you right now, Claymore Rain, you could take this to the bank, my G. I bet you we're going to see Naoya Inoue establishing that body work from round number 1. Why? Because you're going to have the taller guy going to be, using that footwork, making him chase. He's going to cut the ring, and he's going to unload to the body. So if he don't stop you to the body, he's going to be looking to slow you down. He's going to be looking to soften you up. The Hydro Grind, Picasso only has one 12-round fight in his resume. He used to 8 and 10-round fights. The Lunatic Librarian. Inoue can fight on the front foot, can fight off the back foot, and can explode out of either position. Of course, and that's why I'm saying, of someone who's going to sit there and exchange with him is not going to beat him. You got to outbox him. You're going to have to outbox him from the outside. It's going to be that type of fight where you're constantly moving, and you especially got to move to the right and away from that right hand of his. And using that jab and then winning the exchanges, that's the toughest part. If you have to beat him, it has to be a boxing match. If it turns into a fight, Picasso's going to be in trouble early. Claymore Rain, Picasso has timing too. He has been hurt. So he should be aware of pressing the action with this guy as well, for sure. And I said that earlier too. Somebody said, oh, this guy doesn't have that many knockouts. He definitely, it's impossible. anything can happen in boxing. Inoue can get clipped going in, eat a nasty shot and go down. But that's the thing. We've seen Inoue go down and then get up and proceed to pummel his opponent. Anytime he gone down or been hurt, he beat the crap out of his opponent. It's almost like he's like, oh, you have the audacity to hurt me? You think you can? Okay, then I shall proceed to knock you out. Like in the Japanese movie, I will KO you. The Hydro Grind, I'm going to put some money on Naoya getting knocked down. In his last 5 fights, he got dropped once. After that, he turns into a monster. Man, listen, every time he been buzzed, it's been problem for his opponents. The Lunatic Librarian. Inoue has fought with a broken orbital bone against Donaire. Has gotten off the canvas to stop his opponents. Inoue is the truth. His first fight with Nonito Donaire, that's when I realized that he was special. Because before that, I thought he was, he's some guy who's undefeated, fighting guys in Japan who probably easy wins. But when I saw that fight, I saw him get hurt. I saw him get wobbled. I saw him fight Nonito's fight and beat him in his fight. I like, this guy's special. Now, yeah, you know it's different. Different. But I've seen David Picasso fight, and I think that he can make it real interesting. Because it's like I said before, Inoue is the type of fighter that you're not just going to beat him by sitting there and trading leather. He a monster. You're not going to out-tough him. You're not going to outgun him. So you got to outbox him. The Lunatic Librarian, Donito went the distance in the first fight. Didn't last 3 rounds in the second. Yeah, in the second one, Inoue pulverized him. Absolutely. Hurt him early, and that's pretty much it. That's all she wrote after that. But I'm here to tell you, my peoples, that this fight is going to be more interesting than some people think. I believe that David Picasso is going to surprise a lot of people. And it's like I told you guys, I'm not making an official prediction. I'm not telling you that he's going to win this fight or anything like that. My prediction, by the way, will go down on Box Center 2.0. My peoples, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to 2.0. And by the way, I've been going at this for over 2 hours, cooking this healthy dosage of sweet science for you guys, and I couldn't even get to 40 likes. Man, why y'all gotta do? Why y'all ducking that like button like that, man? Double tap that screen. Bam, bam. Golly. The Lunatic Librarian, Donaire, yeah. Yo, the way that he got knocked out in the second fight, I thought he was done. I was like, his career is over, that's it. And then he became a world champion after that again. He actually held another title after losing. This fight right here, my peoples, goes down on Saturday, by the way. And you guys know how I do it. I am going to be calling it live. I can already picture it. The left to the mouthpiece. The right to the dome piece. The left to the toupee. What a devastating shot. Oh, the humanity. Get ready, my peoples. The Lunatic Librarian. This is Inoue 4th weight class as well. You know, I actually said that Naoya Inoue is like Manny Pacquiao, but better. That's how good I see him. Inoue is a better version of Manny Pacquiao. You know what's the only reason that Manny Pacquiao is able to accomplish more as far as moving up in weight classes? Because he's a little bit bigger. That's the... Manny Pacquiao like 5'5", 5'6", and Naoya Inoue 5'3", I think. 5'3", 5'2". So we're never going to see Inoue at the welterweight division like we saw Manny because he's too small. He's too small. Come on. Go watch your TV. Your computer. Inoue is too small to move up in as many divisions as Pac-Man. So he won't be gunning for 8 divisions because he can't go as far up. But when you look at the way that he fights and what he does in the ring, to me, he looks like a sharper version of Manny Pacquiao. Because you know Manny sometimes like running with the punches and looks like kind of like he's all over the place. Inoue is sharper with his punches, with his movement, more precise. Manny's more wild with it. So because of that, I consider him a better version of Manny Pacquiao. Now, how much is he going to accomplish? His story is still not told yet. And I don't think Naoya Inoue is going to fight as long as Manny Pacquiao. I don't think that we'll see him at 40 years old stepping in the ring. The Lunatic Librarian, they both 5'5", Inoue and Pacquiao. Now, yo, trust me, Inoue is not no 5'5". I've literally seen him standing next to somebody who is 5'5", like this. Yo, listen, I'll put it to you like this. Check out the fighters that he has faced, their listed height, and then compare them when they standing in front of him in the face-off. He's short. When you see him in face-off with guys that are supposed to be the same height, he's always shorter than them. Maybe he's 5'5" with some platform shoes, some real big platform shoes. He ain't no 5'5", bro. I promise you. Without a doubt, he not. MS. J. Smith, the goofiest of the Oofiest award today goes to Oscar De La Hoya, telling Bud not to think like a businessman, but to think like a fighter and get in the ring at age 44 when Oscar retired at age 36. The thing about Oscar De La Hoya, man, that if we award him the goofiest of the Oofiest, we have to give him that almost every time he talk about Crawford. We have to give it to him almost every time he talk about certain fighters because he always say goofy shit. Remember when he said that Canelo was going to wipe the floor with Crawford, that weight class for a reason, Crawford was going to get beat up badly? And after the fight, De La Hoya was like, I told you guys this was going to happen. I knew Crawford was going to outbox him because Canelo just don't got no footwork. So Oscar De La Hoya is a goofball, man. We would give him goofiest of the Oofiest on every show. It would be him. Let me know what you think about this fight. Can David Picasso upset Naoya Inoue? Remember, he's an undefeated fighter, never took an L. He's a good boxer, got real good footwork, real good movement. And he has, like I said before, man, he has the style. He has the style to beat the monster. Can he beat him? That's different. Not making any prediction, my peoples. Can he beat him? That's different. Hold on, my peoples, because earlier somebody made a comment, and then I said, damn, you're not talking boxing. You keep changing the subject. What's up? And that person, they never said nothing else after that. So let me go back real quick and get that dummy out of here. Where that dummy at? Where is that dummy at? I can't find that dummy. Where is that dummy at? My peoples. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. At Solo, salute. I see you said facts, I'm in, and you put a flag up. I don't recognize that flag, my brother. Put me on. Put me on, my G. Where that flag is from? There was a dummy I was going to block, but couldn't find that dummy. Next time he say something, he get blocked. The Lunatic Librarian, Jerry Hurd, walked around at 210, 215, then dropped to 154. A lot of fighters do that. A lot of fighters drop a lot of weight People don't realize they go around calling everybody weight bullies and shit. And they don't understand that most fighters walk around way heavier than they actually fight. People don't understand that. They don't get it. Here we go, my peoples. Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez, January 31st. I am going to be making my prediction for this fight on Box Center 2.0. Make sure you subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, you're already missing on exclusive content, exclusive videos, exclusive live, all the good stuff. Tune in, and of course, Box Center 2.0 is home of Goofiest of the Oofiest, the podcast. Which, by the way, the two nominees for Goofiest of the Oofiest was Jake Paul was one of the nominees for Goofiest of the Oofiest for taking the beating that he took and acting like he was celebrating when he was actually out there getting pummeled. Beating of a lifetime. And of course, wow, man, face really swole up after that surgery. And of course, Andrew Tate, who had us believing as a world championship kickboxer, he could fight like crazy, and then he just got pummeled. Absolutely pummeled. Come on, Andrew, what happened? You had all of us believing. You had me telling people that you were going to beat this guy up. You were going to knock this guy out. Chase de moi. And then you proceed to get pummeled like, bro, you pretty trash. That's the way I could describe it. Pretty trash. There was nothing out there that suggests you even know how to throw punches. Andrew Tate did not look like a former world championship kickboxer. I didn't see it. I didn't see it because I've seen kickboxers, and in kickboxing, they punch. And they're good punchers in kickboxing. You train and punch. It's called kickboxing. You punch. So why Andrew Tate was out there looking like he don't even know how to throw a punch? What happened, Andrew? You was out there looking like the goofiest of the oofiest. What is going on? The lunatic, bro. Andrew Tate fought at light heavyweight and cruiserweight. His style didn't change one bit. ISK goes 5 rounds. He always gassed. Yeah, but he didn't even look like a fight. Like, how did he become a world champion over there when he didn't even look like he know how to throw punches? Aroma sound. I'm going to have to give this award to Tate. At least we knew Jake Paul was from the jump. And he made 90 mils for looking goofy. That's my point. Most of us expected Jake Paul to get knocked out. And he got knocked out. We didn't know he was going to be rolling around like a goofball and holding on to knees and all of that. But we expected him to get knocked out. Relaxed rest. Anderson Silva was better than Andrew, of course. He won. Won his fight by stoppage. Zay's. Tate smoking blunts, sniffing blows, spending money, partying. He's over. Man, he looked like he cooked. Andrew Tate looked like he could right now get beat up by the average supermarket delivery guy. Relaxed. Kickboxers should know how to punch. That's why there was people saying that he a fraud. Like, yo, this guy's a fraud. Kickboxers are good punches and with technique and all that. Bam, bam, bam. Andrew Tate out there throwing punches looking like a goofball. MS Jake Paul was striking his fist up like MMA fighters when trying to land in a lucky hard jab to cause damage. But that was a tickler for AJ. Jake Paul landed a couple of punches, but he looked awkward as hell even throwing them. Jake Paul looked awkward as hell. Shaku hands. Jake's a clown show with those floor maneuvers, performing like you proposing, all on his knees. Damn, man. Somebody earlier said, you don't get on your knees for no other man. Never. Jake Paul was on his knees looking like a goofball. That was pure goofball. But Jake Paul was out there giving him a dosage of what he needed. He needed that. They woke him up. Now he understands that he doesn't have the type of skills that he thought he did. Because I told you guys before, it's real nice when you're doing it in sparring. And you paying this sparring partner. So close the gap. This sparring partner, that nice little right uppercut to the chin and a left to the toupee. Pop! Instead of doing that, you know what your paid sparring partner does? Your sparring partners could have been knocked your ass out brutally. But they getting paid. That's a job. If you pay me, and you know that Jake Paul is going to pay good money, if you're going to pay me $10,000 and I'm going to show up to spar a few days, I'm not going to knock you out and get sent home with $2,000 because I wasn't there the whole time. So sparring partners that you're paying can help you get better, can help you get that work, but they're never going to go at 100%. They're never really trying to hurt you if you're Jake Paul. So Jake Paul got the notion that I'm being competitive with heavyweights. He said it before. Oh, I'm sparring with heavyweights. Yeah, you sparring with heavyweights, but they not out there to beat your ass. You paying them to spar with you. They're not going to knock you out. So when you step in there with AJ, it's a whole different feeling than when you was training with people that you're paying. AJ was really there to hurt you, which is why you had to go on the run from round number 1. Relaxed. Tyron Woodley keeps sleeping. He done. Tyron Woodley, he needs to chill before he loses memory. Yeah, man, he keep getting beat up. Tyron Woodley needs to stop getting beat up already. He's going to end up punch drunk. He's going to end up messed up in the game. Wally Ahmad, Jay, might be a little off topic, but the Keyshawn leave Bomac, and if so, how do you feel about that move? Because I don't like it for him. Bomac's a great trainer. So Keyshawn said that his whole team changed. So he did. I don't think he named Bomac specifically, like he moved on. That's what it looks like. He moved on. I would have liked to see him stay with Bomac. Now with Terrence Crawford retiring, I don't know who Bomac is going to be training with, or I know he has more fighters, but I don't know, what changes for Bomac now that he's not going to be training Terrence Crawford. Who, by the way, I say, if they give him the right amount of money, he's going to come back. He's going to fight again. I wouldn't expect him to stay retired if they offer him that $100 million. That's my take. But let's see. Let's see, who Keyshawn Davis is going to be working with. Zay, is that dude Chase Demore? Oh, I was saying Chase Demore. Is that dude Chase Demore gay? Because he was fighting like a female with those pink gloves too. Honestly, I don't know that he's gay. I don't know about that. I couldn't tell you. Aroma sound. Jake was talking like he was about to fight back, but didn't even try. He didn't even try. Jake was out there to survive. And I told you guys that before the fight too. I was like, yo, Jake can go a few rounds. If he goes in there on survival mode, if he goes there running and clinching, and I get going into his knees and rolling around the floor like a goofball, he's gonna buy himself some time and he's gonna last some rounds. Aroma sound. Technically, Jake hasn't fought a real fighter because he got in the ring with one and didn't even fight, man. Didn't even fight. Didn't even make it interesting. Didn't even attempt to win. Was out there to survive. Zay Zay, I only respect Jake for promoting bigger checks for female boxers. I respect that too. MVP promotion is a major player in women's boxing and he's doing a lot for the sport. So you definitely got to give him props for that. Grasshopper, man, boy, eat a steak for a while. He gonna be drinking through a straw. Ain't no Christmas dinner, my G. Forget about the bacon. Forget about the pork or the turkey or the whatever the hell he was gonna eat. He ain't eating none of that shit, bro. Milkshake. Chicken noodle soup. Forget about the noodles. He can't even handle the noodles probably. It's just gonna be the soup. Claymore Rain. Can't fault the YouTuber. What did people expect? At least he got up. Listen, that's what people expected. But you got to remember, Claymore Rain, there was a lot of people that expected a scripted event where AJ was going to go to sleep. He was going to take a dive. So, Grasshopper, damn, no noodles. He probably can't even handle the noodles, bro. It's the soup alone. And you see the little seasoning in the soup that might get caught up in your shit? Not even the seasoning, bro. It's going to be dry soup. Crazy. 2 left hooks. Jay got what he was looking for, and AJ delivered it. He been asking for some help. He got the help he needed. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. A lot of us watching that monster right hand to the snack box of Jake Paul, we felt a sense of satisfaction. I'm going to be real. I felt that sense of satisfaction too. And I'm going to tell you guys why we felt that way or we feel this way. Look at all the trolling Jake Paul been doing. Talking about he's the best in the game. He one of the best ever. He's been beating fighters that nobody could beat like he can. Like he's been trolling not just his opponents. Jake Paul been trolling boxing fans. Part of his popularity has been off of trolling boxing fans. Real talk. Eye for eye. What's the deal, my G? So he's trolling us, telling us that he's the best in the game, the best is Marvin Hagler, and he's going to give us the biggest upset in boxing history. And then you go out there, you in your knees like a goofball, rolling around the floor, looking like a dummy. Come on now. Who expected that? You at least should have put up a fight and got taken out trying to fight rather than get taken out in the ropes like this. Boom! Come on, man. So Jake Paul made himself an unlikable person. And that sells. Because the dislike that people have for Floyd Mayweather, that's what made him the big star that he became. The only difference is one guy's really accomplishing in boxing and the other one is trolling his way through. After that fight, Jake Paul should never, ever, ever even consider stepping in the ring with a world champion. Ever. And he's talking about, I'm going to go back down to the cruiserweight and I'm going to pursue a title there later down the line. Bro, did you not see how how you were outclassed to where you never had a single moment in that fight where it looked like you even had a chance? Skip a clip of Jay Smith. Be honest, who wins? Ryan versus Barrio. Ooh, I'm not making that prediction yet, bro. That prediction is going down on Box Center 2.0. Only if you subscribe. By the way, my peoples, most of you missed yesterday's episode of Goofiest of the Oofiest. Does go down on Box Center 2.0 on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And the winner of this week's Goofiest of the Oofiest award is Andrew Tate. Because he showed that he was pretty trash. But Jake Paul, man. I don't know, man. Jake Paul wasn't looking good out there. Wasn't even looking like a boxer. Jake didn't take the knee like Ryan, and he should have. But holding his legs made him look like dude from down the block. Bro, holding his legs, like the way he was doing it, he looked like that crackhead that'll do anything with you for $5. That's what he looked like. Side, Andrew Fraud. Andrew Tate had me convinced. That he's the world championship caliber kickboxer that was gonna beat up Chase Demore. Went out there and got beat up like a goofball. Didn't even look like he know how to fight. That shit look like a fight between two guys that don't know how to fight, and they put them in the ring and put them to fight, and one beat up the other. Eye for eye. I never thought I would see the day boxing would allow someone to ride a moped into a 22-foot ring. I mean, circus show kind of deal, baby. Circus show kind of deal. Side, Andrew Fraud. Shackle hands. I'm becoming a co-host on Goofiest of the Oofiest. Y'all people don't be joining on Monday. Golly, bro, now shackle hands. You're almost a co-host on Goofiest of the Oofiest because you're the only one jumping in. Everybody's scared to death. 2 left hooks. Ryan versus Barrios is a decent fight, but Ryan stopped Barrios with a left hook to the body in the 7th or 8th round. Ooh, that's an interesting prediction. And I'm going to tell you this. I've been saying, I haven't predicted that outcome, that fight yet, but I've been saying that at some point, I see Ryan Garcia becoming a world champion. And just shutting up the naysayers who think that will never happen for him. My peoples, I'm about to end this show. Before I do, I want to give a shout out to everybody tuning in. 2 left hooks. Zay's side was in the building. Shaku hands. Eye for eye. Skipper Clipper was in the building. Talking that talk. Clayton Rain, salute my brother. That guy KD. Aroma Sound. And everybody else who tuned in, my people. Y'all already know what it is. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of Boxing for Breakfast. Y'all know how we do it. Tomorrow, 6:30 Eastern Time, a.m. Eastern Time, we're going to do what we do. Don't forget, subscribe to Box Center 2.0. Exclusive content dropping on there almost. Plus, that's the home of Goofiest of the Oofiest. My peoples, y'all already know what it is, man. Your boy Jay Smith, I'm out of here. Enjoy the rest of your day, yo. Salute.